Suzanne Basalla. I'm Chief of Staff here at TRI, and I'm going to talk to you about mobility and inclusion, and really talk about inclusion from two different lenses. Like the speakers before me, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my path to TRI, which is a little bit different. I did actually take a fair number of STEM courses when I was in college, but I majored in Asian studies. And the reason I had a STEM courses is because I joined the Navy right out of college and spent 13 years as an intelligence officer in the Navy. And so I took the engineering and physics classes you need for that. And the Navy is what gave me the opportunity to go to Japan. And what you'll see about my career and what brought me to TRI is I'm very passionate about working with US and Japan, both countries, and bringing the best from both countries to solve the problems and the issues that are super important to both of our countries, whether it's our economy or our national security or issues like that. So the Navy, I was with the Navy in Japan for 4 years, and I really fell in love with Japan. And more importantly, I found my passion, which was to really work at that intersection between the United States and Japan, and committed my career to alliance management, which is really focusing more on the national security side first of the relationship. And so through my career, I've had a chance to work between Tokyo and Washington, D.C. mostly on the relationship. So I had a chance to work for a brief time at the White House, worked at the Department of Defense, where I was the Japan director, working on our defense relationship. And then I also had a chance to serve as the senior advisor to our ambassador in Tokyo. And that was a really pivotal time in my life, because I was in Japan on March 11th, 2011, which, if you may remember, was the triple disaster of the earthquake, tsunami, and the nuclear disaster, and was part of the U.S. Government's response on that. But I actually then really realized that I wanted to get involved in the nonprofit side I got involved in nonprofit in order to really help the people, because fundamentally it's the people of our two countries that make the relationship strong. So I spent 5 years as the COO and EVP of a nonprofit, the U.S.-Japan Council, and the bulk of my work that I was doing was helping the next generation for U.S.-Japan relations, particularly a lot of work on women and girls empowerment, which was really exciting for me. Now, working in U.S.-Japan relations, Toyota, I of course got to know Toyota. Toyota is a global brand. If you're in Japan, Toyota is such a dominant company. There's even the headquarters is in Toyota City, which gives you a sense of how important Toyota is to Japan. But it's also really important in the United States, and we have plants in 10 states in this country, and many, many jobs are created through Toyota. So when I was invited to come and work at Toyota, at TRI, for me it was a huge opportunity to continue my work on really solving the most important problems before our countries, working in an exciting space of AI and thinking about the important economic and social issues from robotics and automated driving that you heard about earlier tonight. So I am Chief of Staff, and a lot of people ask me, what is a Chief of Staff? And I usually tell them it means I'm a jack of all trades, but today I'm excited to say I'm a Jill of all trades. And so I'm going to talk to you about two areas that I get to focus on. What my job is to really follow the priorities and strategic issues that are important to my CEO. And then two I want to talk to you about. One is the Olympics. So I hope you all know that the Olympics are going to be Tokyo next summer, Tokyo 2020, and the Tokyo plans for that to be the most innovative Olympics in the history of the Olympics. You may or may not know that Toyota is the largest sponsor of the Olympics and Paralympics and Special Olympics in history, and we're going to be sponsoring the Olympics all the way to at least 2024, the Paris Olympics. Here at TRI, we're really privileged because we're working on a lot of the technology that's going to be shown in Toyota's demonstrations at the Olympics. So the bulk of the driving team and much of the robotics team and others in the ops and PR part of TRI are focused on getting ready for Toyota's presence at the Olympics next year, which is really exciting. My job as Chief of Staff includes kind of helping the leadership team organize across the company so that we are prepared and doing what Toyota needs. And then kind of my sweet spot is engaging with the external stakeholders, especially in Toyota, but I also get to work with the Olympic Committee. I get to work with other companies that are sponsors, such as Visa or Intel. I also get to work with the broadcasters, and really really cool is occasionally I get to interact with some of the athletes and the Paralympians, and they're super inspiring. Toyota is sponsoring the Olympics because it wants to transform ourselves as a company into a mobility company. And what I've been really proud of is, through my work, seeing how much Toyota is using its sponsorship to lift the Paralympics and really focusing on the topic of mobility for all, which aligns with the things you've already heard tonight, and accessibility and inclusion. The second area that I get to work on is be a champion for diversity and inclusion in the company, which is very important to our CEO, and you heard from Kelly, who, our executive vice president. Diversity and inclusion is important throughout the company. It's not my job to do it. I'm the champion for it within the company, but it's the responsibility of all the leaders. And you saw that all of our leaders who are here in the headquarters today are here showing their support. And that is very typical of the company. But I have the privilege of being the champion for diversity and inclusion in the company, which means I get to be in a lot of different conversations and continue to help us to think about how we can do better and do more, because we want to create as inclusive an environment as possible here to attract diversity and get the most out of diversity that's here. People call employee resource groups different things at different companies, but we at TRI have started 3 employee resource groups, and these are initiated by employees. We're still a pretty new company. I don't know if that actually came across in the speeches yet, but we're a pretty new company. We've only started our ERG program just a little over a year ago, and we're really excited that we have 3 employee resource groups already up and running. One is Women and Allies. Yeah. One is LGBTQ, plus. And then one is Parents, which is our newest ERG. We're just started, and it's, focusing right now mostly on new parents or parents of young children, but bringing together people who are facing issues as working parents. And so we call these resource groups for a couple of reasons. First of all, they're a resource for the members of the affinity group that belong to it. It's a place for them to get together, share their concerns, and work together to find creative ways to address those concerns. They're also a resource to the TRI leadership, to the CEO and the leadership team, because it gives us a way to hear about what are the issues that are important to those communities. And they're a resource for the company because they advance a caring community and a respectful environment in the company, which align with the values that Kelly talked about earlier. So hopefully you've had a chance to learn about some of the ERGs. If not, ask us more questions. We love to talk about the activities in the ERGs. But, of course, part of the emphasis we place on diversity is why we're so pleased to be hosting Girl Geeks tonight, and we are so grateful that you're here tonight. So I want to thank you. I'm going to turn it over, I think, to Rita for some final remarks, but thank you very much.